Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So before we start our video today, and it's going to be a video not about a magic rocking chair. It's just a story that I have for you guys about why I think rocking chairs are magical. And before we start our video today, I wanted to tell you guys a story. So I went over to Alaska Dream Life's house about a couple weeks ago. You know, Billy and Dee, if you guys watch their YouTube channel, a lot of times they're on a rocking chair that's on their deck. And when I visited their home, Billy and I went outside to the back and we were sitting in the rocking chairs just talking. And just sitting in that rocking chair reminded me of when I was a little boy. When I was between the date of birth, my date of birth and 3 years old, I lived in Dominican Republic. And the reason I lived there is because my mom and my dad immigrated to the United States in the mid 60s, I think around 65, 66. And they got pregnant with me a few years after they got here. Well, my father wanted me to have Dominican citizenship because he was a very proud man. And he was very proud to be of Dominican heritage, you know. And him and my mom went to Dominican Republic right before I was born. Well, due to a bit of ignorance about immigration laws back then, see, my mom and my dad, they were residents. You know, they had they call it a green card, but it's really a pink card. I'm not sure what color it is now. So they were permanent residents here in the U.S. And they traveled back to the Dominican Republic so that I can be born there, thinking that after I was born there, since they were permanent residents, that they would be able to just bring me back. Well, they didn't know that they could not bring me back with them. That the only way that they could bring me back with them is if they had me overseas and they were both citizens, which they were not at that time. My mom and dad didn't become naturalized citizens till the around the mid 1980s. Is when they became naturalized citizens. So they had to leave me there, of course, because my brothers and my sister were still here in the U.S. So I grew up the first 3 years in the Dominican Republic. I grew up with my uncle and my aunt, which was a blessing in itself because they ended up being like my parents also. I loved them very much and I had very great experience being with them. So it was kind of a blessing to me as well. Well, when I was a little boy, I can remember all the way back to when I was like 2 years old. And I remember that every night before I went to sleep, I would go to my uncle, and his name was William. I would go to my Uncle William, and he would always be on a rocking chair on his porch, on the porch of his house. Every night he'd be on a rocking chair on the porch of his house. And I would always go to him and he would rock me to sleep on his rocking chair. So when I was over at Billy and Dee's house and I sat on that rocking chair, it just brought back memories. And I thought to myself, you know what, I have to get a rocking chair, you know, because the deck on the back of my house is finally suitable for me to be able to put furniture out there, you know, and this is, the deck is where I put my pizza oven to cook pizza and stuff like that. So I started looking for some rocking chairs and I went to the Lowe's site and I found these rocking chairs that they weren't made out of wood. They're like plastic, but they're a real polymer, I think they are. They're real sturdy plastic, and I figured it would be better for me to get the plastic ones because I don't really have anywhere to store them in a temperature controlled room, so the plastic ones would fare better in the weather than would wooden ones. But anyways, I ended up getting an awesome deal. You know, it was a great deal. The rocking chairs were like $40 a piece and they were 50% off, and then I get a 10% discount for being a veteran. So I ended up paying like 17, 18 bucks per rocking chair, and I ended up getting one for each member of the family. I ended up getting 4 of them. And this is why I say that rocking chairs are magical. Because a few days after I got the rocking chairs, put them in the back deck, I came out here early in the morning and I was out here having a coffee, just, enjoying the beautiful morning. And a few minutes later, my wife shows up. She opens the door and she's like, "What are you doing out here?" I'm like, "I'm just out here having a coffee, enjoying this awesome morning." And she sat down next to me on the rocking chair next to me. And we didn't have any music on. We didn't have our phones on us or anything like that. It was just us two out here on our rocking chairs, rocking away. And we talked about anything and everything for about an hour. And it's not something that we do enough of. And after about an hour or so, my wife had to go inside. She wanted to get some things done because she had to go to work. And a few minutes later, I stayed out here, by myself because I was really enjoying being out here. A few minutes later, little Miss Alaska Prepper shows up and she sits down and we talked for about an hour and it was great. And while we were talking and just spending time talking and, being with each other out here, I was thinking to myself, I was like, this is great. Look at how much power this rocking chair has. So that's why I say that rocking chairs are magical. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ask yourselves, what in your life is magical? What do you guys have that allow you to make a connection with those that you love? It doesn't have to be a rocking chair. For me, it happens to be a rocking chair because it brings back great memories. And it seems that at least Mrs. Alaska Prepper and little Miss Alaska Prepper enjoy being out here, rocking away and just talking about anything. So ask yourselves, what is your magic? And what is it that enables you to connect with your family? And whatever that is, make sure that you do it. Make sure that you keep that connection, and make sure that if you have children, make sure that when you grow old, that your children will be able to say that they appreciate that you made that connection with them because it allowed them to know who you are and not that you are just a provider or a caregiver, but allow them to know who you are. That's all I have to say about that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the story. It's just, I'm sitting in a rocking chair right now, rocking away, and it brings me a lot of joy. And the only thing that would bring me more joy will be the day that I have my chicken coop and, my animals and my garden out here, and I can sit out here and watch the chickens peck away and things like that. So having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's just going to be a short video today. And of course, towards the end of the video, I will be announcing the 2 winners of the air fryer. Okay, one of the winners will be from the YouTube community and another of the winner will be from our Patreon community. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. It's just a short video showing you guys how I build my shelf for my fuel tent. All right, so I hope you enjoy. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Another beautiful day today. It's Saturday, early afternoon, and I went ahead and grabbed a whole bunch of scrap wood that I've got left over from my projects this summer, and I'm going to go ahead and build a shelf for my fuel tent, which will give me enough room to bring everything else in that I got. Now I'm just going to show you a real simple drawing. You may not be able to follow this, but this is just what I'm going to follow. I'm going to make the shelf about 70 inches long. It's going to be about 2 feet high and only 1 foot wide, which I like that it's only going to be 1 foot wide because it'll give me a lot of space in the center to be able to maneuver in there and be able to get stuff out without being in a tight spot. So what I did was I'm not going to try to make sense of this to you. It makes sense to me because I drew it. But the reason I do this before I start a small project is so that I can get an estimation of how much wood I'm going to need. So like you can see all of these right here. You can see these right here. These are 24 inches. These are going to be 4x4s. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So I know that I'm going to need 6 24-inch 4x4s. And then these 2 70-inch 2x4s are going to be these guys up here. Right? And then I've got 8 1-foot 2x4s. Those are going to be these guys right here. Here, here, and there's going to be some in the top, and the bottom, and the top over there. Right? So that'll give me enough for me to do a basic frame. And then what I'm going to do for the top, you can see all these lines. For the top, I'm just going to fill the top in with whatever scrap wood I have that's straight and that's the same width. So any 2x of any kind that I have that'll fit up there is going to be fine, because they're only supposed to be 1 foot. So I'm only going to need about 6 of those. I'll probably have them extending off each edge by about 1/2 an inch. That way I don't have to make a long cut, all right, or about 1 inch really, all right? Or maybe not, because nowadays a 2x4 is not really a 2x4, it's a 1.5 by 3.5. So I'll probably be able to fill in that top with just scrap 2x of any width. And then I'm going to end up doing braces here, you know, triangular braces to give it stability. And I'll figure that out with my other scrap wood. I've got a whole bunch of scrap wood here that'll be perfect for that. And I'll let you guys see what it's going like each step. All right, so we'll be back in a few minutes. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the initial amount of wood I need cut in order to make my frame. And then once we make our frame, I'll be able to start making the braces and then the top of the shelf. Alrighty, so you can see that I've got these squared off. I'm going to start off with each end, and I'm going to use these lag bolts, which are really nice strong bolts. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead and put my square here just to make sure that this part at least is squared off nice and flush on both the top and the bottom. Make sure that I don't move it. I'm going to put 2 bolts on opposite corners. Put another one here. Sometimes with these bolts, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that little crack right there. It's not going to be that big of a deal because it's going to be braced off. Sometimes with these thick lag bolts, you want to probably do a pilot hole, but I'm not going to bother doing that. Should be fine. There we go, that's one side, and that's nice and square. We're going to go to the other side over here. And we've got it nice and square over here. And now I'm going to take a measurement in the middle and put another one of those in the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did with this one with another set, which will be the other side. And that's one side. So now I'm going to do the other side. And what I'm going to do is, instead of measuring the other side for the middle one, I'm just going to use this one as a jig to make sure that they're both exactly the same. Now that I've got this completed, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the 2x4s that are 1 foot long that go from here to the other side. All right. Actually, they're going to be on the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in today. If you're enjoying this video, or if you just feel sorry for me because I have no idea what I'm doing, please give this video a thumbs up. And please stand by, because towards the end of the video, I will be announcing the winners of the 2 air fryers that I'm giving away. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the frame is complete. As you can see, I braced it pretty well. For those of you pros out there, professionals out there. I'm sure I could have used less wood, but I kind of like overdoing things. So I just want to make sure it's really nice and sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm also going to go ahead and screw a few screws onto the floor once I got it in place. As you can see, I put some right here with screws. Same here, and actually I have to put a screw in here. I have to put a screw in here and in here, like I did in these other ones. So as you can see, I've got a screw on these through the outside and then one screw through the inside. I put one set of 2x4s on each set of legs to stabilize them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab some scrap wood, and I'm going to build some braces that's going to go from here to here and from here to that corner down there. Just for the back side though. I won't do it in the front, so it'll make it easy for me to be able to pull cans in and out. You'll see what I mean. And then I'm going to end up having to cut pieces of scrap wood that I have that are 15 inches. As you can see from here, from edge to edge, you're looking at about 15 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut 15 inches, and I need a width of 70 inches. If it goes a little over, that's fine, but it needs to be 70 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those now, and then I'll be back once I got the braces done. And I'll have this in place, tacking on the wood on the top. And it should be just about done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is all I did to brace the back, just to make sure that it's got stability from side to side. I just put that brace there, from there to the bottom, and there to there. Simple as that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this inside, and I'm going to cut the pieces that go on top, and then we should be pretty much done. And then we'll be able to show you all who the winners of the air fryers are. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much finished. I probably gave up enough room to put one more can under there because of how I spaced it, but I've got other stuff that I can put in between there, so it's not going to be room wasted. And as you can see on the top, I just grabbed a whole bunch of my scrap wood that I had in my scrap pile. I cut them all down to 15 inches, and they fit on top just fine. Now, it doesn't look pretty, but it doesn't have to look pretty as long as it does the job. So I'll be back in a minute here, and I'll show you how I'm going to secure these gas cans to the top. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it looks like after they're secured. And all I did to secure them was I just put a ratchet strap attached to a screw there. Same thing on the other side, and I put them on top of there. Now, I don't think I'm going to do any more in this fuel tent this year, because I've got plenty of other things that I have to get done that are not are much more priority than this. But what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of building a shelf just like this for the back, so that I can have all my gas cans on the shelf and under them. And then I'm also going to build a small shelf on this end that will hold 2 of the small cylinders. That way I can have 2 on the floor and 2 on top. And then in this space right here, I'm going to have 4 100-pound cylinders. So that's what it's going to look like when it's finally done. And I wanted to go over a question that someone had a while back that I just thought about. Someone told me that they had some of this Coleman camp fuel. I like to call it clean fuel, because this fuel is pretty much good forever, as long as you keep it sealed. And they told me that their cans were starting to rust. And I told them that a good thing to do would be to paint them with like a Rust-Oleum paint or something like that. As you can see, my cans are starting to rust too. I've got 6 of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 of them, and I'm going to put it into this container. And I'm going to label it with a Sharpie that says camp fuel. That way I'll always know what it is. So for the person that asked me that question a while back, I think that's a pretty good fix for making sure that your original cans don't deteriorate to the point where there's a leakage, and you could have it in a secure can that you know will pretty much last you forever. Right, so all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I hope you got something out of this. If anything, a little bit of entertainment. Seeing me piece together a whole bunch of scrap wood into something that's somewhat useful. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead. Let's roll the drums, and let's go ahead and let you guys know who the winner of the air fryer is from our YouTube community and from our Patreon community. So good luck, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to everyone who participated in this giveaway. A lot of fun. Always like to give away and give back to the community. For those of you that do win, for those of you that did win, Mary Raby and Carl Young, please make sure you email me your information so that I can get your prizes on their way to you. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, a short video today, but thank you very much for joining in. Always have a great time catching up with you guys and chatting away. All right, so having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I am out.